The dog finally stopped barking. Life is good. But inside, there's trouble brewing, and Emma has no idea. Although she feels fine, like her father, Emma is one of the 67 million adults in the U.S. with high blood pressure or hypertension. Just like her radiator that's on the fritz, Emma's heart is working overtime to get the job done. Let's have a look. The heart is the pump in our bodies, delivering blood to the entire system through a set of pipes, or blood vessels of all sizes. Smoking, high cholesterol, diabetes, obesity, physical inactivity, family history, and increased age all contribute to these blood vessels, or our pipes, becoming less elastic. The more blood our heart has to pump through stiff, narrowing arteries, the higher our blood pressure. When the force of the blood against our artery walls is too high, life-threatening health problems can result. Problems like kidney disease, heart disease, stroke, even heart attack. Can Emma get her pressure down before it's too late?
I will keep holding on. I believe you are strong enough to bring me out of every storm. And I won't lose faith in you. You are strong enough, yeah, to do whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. And I'll keep holding on to you, and I won't let go. I'll keep holding on to you, and I won't let go. In this time of need, I love to see your hand reaching out for mine. You are strong enough to bring me out every storm. And I won't lose faith, for I cannot do this alone. You're the only one who can save me, and I'll keep holding on to you, and I won't let go. Yes, I'll keep holding on to you, and I won't let go. I hold on.
Hey everybody, Pick TV Network special presentation here tonight is going on. God gave us a gift, and that gift was to bless people with the lifespan of Pastor Melvin Maxwell, pastor of East Friendship Baptist Church And I have some of my colleagues on, and we're going to have tributes, words to him tonight, because we love Pastor Maxwell like so many others. And we dedicated this whole broadcast. We're going to play this all week long to Pastor Maxwell's family at East Friendship Baptist Church. I'm so happy to have with me Pastor Simpson, Reverend Simpson, Minister Simpson, all of it, all above.
Reverend Sampson. Reverend Sampson. Yes, sir.
Thank you, man. We're going to talk about your pastor. Also, we have my good friend, Pastor Jerome Bowie, Apostle Bowie here with us. And the one and only, the Prince of Preachers down here, that's Dr. Dante King, who I love so much. And let's get into this interview today that we're going to honor the great man of God who we all love. First of all, Minister Gary Sampson, tell us about your relationship with your pastor, man, and how it started from the first day when you came and met him.
Well, praise the Lord. Praise the Lord, everybody. Reverend Gary Sampson. I've been Pastor Maxwell's armor bearer for well over 15 to 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it's an honor to serve a man of God, because serving for me is a sign of humility. Because the thing about it, one thing about Pastor Maxwell, he taught me to serve, not to be served. And you know, you get to a place where no matter what you do, service with a smile.
Yeah.
No matter what the situation was, wherever we went. I remember our last road trip together. We went to Brooklyn. He took me to Brooklyn. I never been to Brooklyn, his hometown, Boogie Down, Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy. And we took a trip and we was just having fun, just not knowing, you know, what is to come months later.
Yeah.
But you know, he always wanted to just serve the people.
Mm-hmm.
Serve the people, no matter what it was, no matter where it was, who it was. We had big events. He wanted to sit amongst the people.
Mm-hmm.
He never put himself high. He always put himself in the same level. And it's like for 24 years, from pouring in from personal to business to ministry to man of God, just showing me, you know, how to rep Jesus even more and do it in my way, not so much anybody else's way. You know, he believed that if you were unique in your own way, I remember when I got ordained almost 6 years ago, and my paper, I called it Unlikely But Called. And it's like unlikely people doing unlikely things for the people of God. You know, and he's just like, you get to a point where he poured into me so much. It was never a time I could not connect with him, whether it be by phone, text, or even in person. It's been my honor to serve this man of God. You know, his family, his mother, his wife, First Lady Maxwell. You know, anybody that was connected to him, I had to make sure that they were good, no matter what. He'd go out of town, he'd tell me, hey, check my house. I'll leave from DC to go to Upper Marlboro to make sure his house was good. Just to make sure that everything was good. Because the fact of the matter is, you know, one thing he always said to me, stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. And you know, you think about that, you hear that phrase, but he's talking about really making sure you have everything in order, making sure you have everything intact, from life insurance to bank accounts to anything that needed to be secured, because you never know
Each friendship.
what the next minute will be. And it's like his theme going into 2024: God first, knowing God, finding freedom, discovering a purpose, and making a difference. Those are the core values of our church, the East Friendship Baptist Church, the church with a great welcome, a disciple-making church, a church making a world of difference.
Yeah.
He epitomized. He took it to a level where, you come into East Friendship. You know how back in the day you come into somebody's home and you just feel like it's home. That's how he wanted it. Because every time somebody came to his house, it was not so much their house, it was everybody's house. As far as meals, as far as if you slept, I remember one time I came off my 24-hour shift and we had a long day. We had a very long day. And then I got back to the house and Aunt Kathleen would, laid out a spread. Now I mean a spread. And had our food ready when we got there. But I tell you, you get to a place where reasonable service. This man of God did reasonable service. He took reasonable service, Pastor, to another level. To another level. And you get to a point where he honored his wife, first and foremost, his family, first and foremost, outside of God. He took a lower position because he wanted to let people know. I remember weeks before everything happened, we honored him as pastor and people 15 years in, weeks like in early part of March. And, and then, you get to a point, he received a presidential award from the president of the United States, a humanitarian award, along with other clergy and leaders of DC on a particular Saturday. And he came and just humility. It did not yet appear to me what was coming forward.
Yeah.
But he always said, you gotta know the system. You gotta know every part of the system, because when I'm not here, the system still goes forward. It goes forward because the blueprint was already there. It's already there.
Yeah.
And it's like the craziest, I tell people, and I sat with his daughters the other day and said, think about the craziest thing your daddy ever did. Close your about the craziest thing your daddy ever did and laugh out loud, because he did so many comical things, from the outfits to the singing to the dancing and to the, just the impersonation of different characters in his preaching. Because he wanted people to come to Christ in their way, not anybody else's way. He met you where you were. I remember we did a service where he prayed for the whole church, and I was behind him the whole time. And I felt every prayer going forward, coming through him, through me. And we talked about it a couple days later. I said, man, I'm still tired from Sunday. Because the thing about it, you get to a place when you're connected to somebody that much. But I tell Pastor Bowie, I said, it's a privilege, because people do not have to let you in to their life. It's a privilege. Do not take advantage of it, because And that's the thing about it with Pastor Max, Daddy Max. I call him Max mode. Because when I say Max mode, he knew exactly what you said. I said it's Max mode time. Every time he got up and preached, Max mode, maximize. He knew exactly where to go. And trust me, when he started, it was like a train. It was like a running train. It was like a 747 coming through every Sunday, every week. You know, whether it be at the golf course, whether it be on the highways or the byways, whether it be in the Hamptons Minister Conference, different funerals, because he believed in teaching. He's a teaching pastor, learning how to do baptism by doing it, learning how to do communion by doing it. Because it's not about the garments. It's not about the titles and the positions. It's about the authenticness of what you're doing and what you're doing, regardless if it's dealing with your family, regardless if it's dealing with, just the regular person that you don't even know. Somebody can come up to him and he don't even know, but yet he blessed him. He blessed him.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
And I know, man, that when you're talking about your pastor, man, it's a whole different level. Being an armor bearer, sticking with him, seeing him, being the first one there to greet him, to make sure that everything is well. You spent more time with him than all of us put together, man. And I want to salute you and thank you so much. I want to go to Pastor King for a minute. Pastor King, you traveled with our brother, our friend, our king, Pastor Melvin Maxwell, to Africa, man. And your relationship was spinning in the air with him, sitting down with him, talking with him over business. And tell us about the business mind of Pastor Maxwell, Pastor King.
Let me first of all say thank you for doing this for an incredible person, as my brother just stated, just an incredible human being. My business ventures with Pastor Melvin were actually prophetic. And let me explain it to you quickly. Pastor Jerome Bowie, we were at Henry Davis Church, and we were there for a service one night, and I was talking about some work that I wanted to do in Africa. I met some gentlemen who told me about some work in Africa and needing some people to do the work. So Apostle Bowie said, I got the perfect person for you. You need to meet my brother, Pastor Melvin Maxwell. And so we connected that day in the fellowship hall of the church, and we exchanged information. I told him what was going on, and I didn't hear anything from him. So several days went by, didn't hear anything from him. So he called me. He said the conversation we had was prophetic. I said, why would you say that? He said, because he went to Africa the year of return, and the pastor who he went with wasn't able to go. So before they took off to Angola, the pastor told him, listen, I need you to carry it. You got to speak. You got to be on the television stations. I need you to run with this. The year of return, 400 years after, our ancestors were taken in captivity. So he went there. He said, this is prophetic because God told me I was going back in a different capacity. So let me say, so our whole fellowship in business was prophetic. It had to happen. Pastor Maxwell introduced me to another part of the world in a business. And I've been to Africa before, so I wasn't new to the continent, but I never had the ideal of doing business in Africa. We formed a company called Golden African Holdings, along with two other individuals. And Pastor Maxwell just became a mentor in business that I've never had. There are a whole lot of people who have knowledge but won't share knowledge. One of the most tragedies, one of the tragedies in the Word of God we don't talk about is when Elisha got the mantle from Elijah. Elijah gives Elisha the mantle. Elijah had done 8 miracles, and we always talk about how Elisha did double the miracles, but the last miracle was a tragedy. The last miracle he did, he was dead in the grave, and they threw a dead man on top of him, and he resurrected. The tragedy is that Elisha died with the anointing and never passed it on. Pastor Max passed what he had on: business, spiritual, family, and the time we spent in Africa. We had a condo in Africa, so we didn't have a hotel. Pastor Max got us a condo, and then we went to Angola. We stayed well. We ate well, and we just went all throughout the continent doing business. But I learned more about life. I saw this man set up a green screen. Now Africa is 6 hours ahead. So he would be up 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning on a green screen teaching the word of God so he could send it to his wife so she could actually broadcast it so the church could get fed by their pastor while he was 6,000 miles away.
Wow.
I've seen him make sure his family was straight, his children were straight, 6,000 miles away. I've seen him feed villagers. I've seen him take care of whole villages. I'm not talking about taking care of a few people standing on the corner of New York Avenue. I've seen him take care of villages, feed villages. I got to see the heart of the man outside of the pulpit, outside of the lights, the cameras, and the actions, where there's no paparazzis. There's nobody recording you on YouTube. It ain't for the gram. It ain't for likes and shares. He did it from his heart. And so this man has truly opened up the world. I'm doing business in Africa as we speak, and it's all because of the seed of business in Africa that this man planted in my life. I will forever be indebted for the heart that this man has. I've been in situations before that I not only didn't need a word to bring me out, but I needed a check to help me out. And this man reached into his pocket and made sure that we were taken care of. I was in Africa. I was stuck in Africa because one of the deals we had didn't go through. I'm at the airport not knowing how I'm going to get home. I met a gentleman named Albert, and I ended up staying at his house, and Max coordinated those things. So there are so many things. Man, I can go on and on and on about a tremendous amount of time we spent, whether we're sitting in the office in Angola, we're sitting in the condo, or we're taking an 8-mile ride in what we call an African massage. What that is, the roads outside of the city are so bumpy that when you riding, we call it an African massage. And just spending time with him and just allowing him to pour into my life, man. The business, this man had a business mind. And what I love about it, I'm gonna say this because I know some of you have to, other people are speaking, and I'm gonna have to jump off earlier. But what I loved about him was the heart he has for Africa.
Yeah.
Not for Europe, not for Paris. And he talked about getting the houses at King. I'm moving over here because T and Dwight moved over there. So Max like, man, listen, I'm trying to find somebody. I'm gonna retire from the church, man. I'm going to Africa, brother. So you going to get a home there? He said, nah, King, I'm living in Africa. And I said, bro, I said, listen, man, I love you, man, but I'll visit when we do business. But he just had a heart for the diaspora, a heart to bridge that gap between those of us who don't understand that this is our culture, this is our heritage, that we are Joseph. Although we were taken into slavery, that we are Joseph. It's our job to tell our brothers and sisters what the homeland has to offer. So I am indebted for life.
Wow.
For life to him. I'm indebted for what he's done for me and the seed he planted in me as far as business is going to open up the world. And I have a responsibility to what he's done for me to pour into somebody else's life. What he taught me, I'm indebted to pour into somebody else's life. So I'm grateful for his wife sharing him with us. What a great sacrifice that she made to share him, not just with the church, but she shared it with Africa. She shared it with the Turkish church. She shared it with the world. So I'm grateful for his wife and his family, man. So blessed having known him. I'm better because I know him, and I will be better because of the seed that this man deposited into my life.
Man, that's so beautiful. Pastor King, I love you so much, man. And
So I'm gonna just say this funny thing. The irony is I gotta jump off because I gotta make a call in Africa in a couple of hours as soon as they wake up. So, so I gotta get a little bit of sleep because I'm on the phone 1 o'clock in the morning, our time. They just waking up doing business. So I mean that's because I still got some of those connections, man. So Every time I'm on a call, a Zoom call, I'm always thinking about my brother, man. So can't wait to see you guys on Thursday and on Friday. I know
That's right.
the situation is difficult. The reason why we're there is difficult, but we got a lot to celebrate. You know, we got a lot to celebrate for our dear friend and our brother. Love you, gentlemen.
I love you, man. Number love, man. Pick TV Network, we're here today. We're celebrating the life and legacy of our beloved King in ministry. You know, all of us are in ministry. And Pastor Maxwell is the man of God who God has blessed us with a gift on this planet to make the world a better place, to pastor East Friendship Baptist Church. So we're giving tributes to him all this week. And I want to bring up Pastor Jerome Bowie, Apostle Bowie. It's because of you I met Pastor Maxwell. If it wasn't because of you, we wouldn't have had a fellowship with him for 12 years. He came to minister to our church, brought over 100 people to choirs and coming and singing and being a gift to us. And even this network, Pick TV Network, exists because of this man's investment when we first started. And we will always remember him. Jerome Bowie, Pastor Bowie, come on up, man. I'm just so happy that you helped make this special night special for Pastor Maxwell and his family and his memorial. Love you, man. Come on, talk to us.
Man, I have so much to say, but I will say this. Pastor Mack's last sermon that I was at, he was at a prayer breakfast here in Maryland. And I came to the prayer breakfast and he preached just one man.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to get that sermon. I'm telling you, he preached his heart out. He said, all we need just one man. But my relationship with Max, man, goes back, man. That's East Bishop is my family church, so a lot of my family members went there for years, and that's how I met Pastor Max over 20 years ago. I was burying my cousin who went to East Bishop when Max was getting voted in as the pastor of East Bishop. So I met him like 2 weeks before he became pastor of East Bishop, and I said, "How you doing, Pastor?" I already knew he was going to be the pastor because it just was all in him. It's all in him. It's all in his eyes. It's all in him. And so him and his wife, they took on that responsibility and has done a tremendous job. So we connected, man, and we became friends. And I am just sitting here at awe because that man was a man of God that loved people, loved his family, poured into everybody. He poured into me, and he always stayed on me about different things, especially about health. But let me say, Maxwell was a man of value. And one thing I always said, and Maxwell liked this, I used to say, had this saying, I used to say that you can't use me because God is using me. He already beat you to the punch. So that was my saying. When I said that, I was preaching one time, Maxwell said, I like that. And that's who Maxwell was. God was using him. Couldn't nobody else use him because God was using him. He was doing what he was called to do, what his purpose was, and he did it well. What I loved about it was that how he can just take certain things and just run with it. He would bring authors in and have book signings and have discussions. Man, he would do street ministry where he have 10 to 15, 20 churches in the neighborhood wearing the same t-shirts, doing the same mission. It took a man of God to do that, to get churches to come together, to get pastors to come together. But he always told me one thing. He said, Pastor Bowie, man, you are a connector. Man, you connect people. I say, I understand my calling. He said, you are a connector. I say, God bless me with that to know a lot of pastors, to know a lot of people. But to God be the glory for the things that this man has done in his family. Well, I love his family to life because he loved his family. He always talked about his family, his daughters, his son. When his son became pastor in North Carolina, I was so proud to be on the bus to go out there for his installation service. So I was connected with this man, and to God be the glory. It's a shock to everybody. But look here, we don't know the day or the time. So because of this, I say now in my prayer, God, thank you for allowing me to see another day. That's my new prayer. God, thank you for allowing me to see another day. Because I really do understand tomorrow is not promised to none of us. And I was such a proud friend to be able to be at Maxwell's service when he was honored by the president a lifetime achievement award, and to come to his house and eat and just sit with his family and friends. It was just such an honor. And in that, I was sharing with with Reverend Sampson, I was sharing with him that me and Maxwell talk. I got a book coming out, and Maxwell met my father. It's about my father's life being missing for 40 years. And I asked Maxwell, can he do the audio book for me? Could he do the reading on the audio book? And he said, Apostle, I'll be honored. He said, because you're a true man of God, I'll be honored. So he accepted the call to do the audio book. But I wanted to say this man of God has truly blessed many of people. I remember I was going through my situation. I was dealing with heart trouble, and at the same time, Corona hit and things was going on. He would always call and check on me, and then sometimes he wouldn't even. Sometimes he would just. I look at my cash app. Maxwell just sent me something out of nowhere. That's what kind of man he was. He say, even I was in a storm out in Puerto Rico, and Maxwell called me and said, "You okay? I hear you out in the storm. You need anything?" He just called to check on the shit. I need anything. I said, "Thank you so much. I'm good." I say, "God made a way. We coming home on time." So he was just a special man. He loved his church. He lived and breathed his church, and I thank God for him. He was a man that we had such a relationship with. I would call him up, and we would talk on many occasions. And I said, Max, I got these people in here from Africa. I want you to meet them, and he would come. And out of that, I got one of our pastor friends got an email saying that one of the men that we met from cross seas was in town for a book signing, and she said that he texted me and said that he was just with Maxwell in Africa, and that Maxwell gonna come to the book signing and they're gonna have lunch. But while he was texting, we had to let him know that Maxwell was no longer here. They had met in Africa. They connected back again in Africa. We had all had a conference up in Dallas, and they connected and they kept in contact, and they ran into each other in Africa. And he was coming over here to do a book signing, which was last week. And he had said that Maxwell they was going to have lunch, and I had to let him know that Maxwell was no longer here, that he had transitioned. And he was so heartbroken because even the couple of times Maxwell met him, it was just a big effect. That's what Maxwell was. He put effect on your life because he was pure. It wasn't no shade with him. It wasn't no high with him. He was just Maxwell, Pastor Maxwell. He loved everybody. I think when our function was Bishop Evans, when we was at the movie theater for The Color Purple, they had 2 sold out theaters. We had a good time. Overseer Billy Hall came and Lynn Hunter. We had such a wonderful time, and we laughed and joked and talked, man. You did the interview, but Maxwell was one kind of a man, I'm telling you, and I'm gonna miss him to life.
Yeah.
I'm so honored that I got a chance to go to the hospital and talk with him after his surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And I was lost for words, but I came in the room, and the first thing he told me was that he loved me.
Wow.
And I held his hand. I said, "To God be the glory." I said, "You just don't know how I feel to be able to walk in this room and to see that you made it, that you're alive, because it could have been the other way." And I was just so honored, just to be his friend and to be in his life and him in my life. He loved my family. He loved he buried a lot of my cousins. His church opened the doors for my son, was killed in a motorcycle accident. Maxwell was right there. Matter of fact, when I got to the hospital and said my son was dead at 27 years old, the first person I called was Maxwell. And he just began to pray. I called Maxwell. I said, "Maxwell, he gone." He said, "Who?" I said, "My son, he's gone." And Maxwell just began to pray. But I'm telling you, this was the man of God. Even he would come and support you. I mean, he done popped up with me many times when I preached out or when I was doing like my birthday service. He came and said, "I just want to spend a day with you, man." That what kind of person he was. I love his family. They are so genuine. His wife, his 2 daughters, and his son. Oh my God, I just love them to life. I got to know them through the years, and they are pure people. They love Christ. They love the people of God. And this is gonna be hard for a lot of people, but we know God can get us through all this. I am looking forward to this celebrating his life. This celebrating his life because he was a man who lived the life. And like his son said, all hands on deck. He left something behind, and he was truly a leader of leaders. To God be the glory.
Yeah, Pastor Boy, I want to thank you, man, for those kind words. I want to say, man, Pastor Maxwell to me is first of all a gift from God. I had a chance to do an interview with him, and we're going to play some of that interview. My last interview I had with him was at his church. We were having a Christmas program, and we needed some toys to help some families in need. And I called Pastor Maxwell and his wife, who we love so much. My wife just talked to his wife, and we're praying for her and all of the family. But I asked him, do you have any Christmas toys so we can help these needy families? He said, yeah, come on by. We'll have some for you. And when I went over there, they was having a Christmas drive. They had a bags of toys for me to give to the kids in need. And one of the little kids said, this is the best day of my life. This is the best day of my life. A little kid said that. And I was so blessed because Pastor Maxwell helped make that happen. For those who are watching right now, we 36 minutes into this TV show. We're doing tributes to my friend, Pastor Maxwell, and his armor bearers right here. You heard Reverend Gary Sampson spoke. You heard Pastor Dante King spoke. You heard Apostle Jerome Boyd. And we're going to go into this interview. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to stop the interview, and we're going to comment as this interview goes on today. And I want to say thank you again for everybody watching this presentation today. This is a special interview that we're doing in honor of the life and legacy of one of our own. You know, every preacher who's watching me right now understand that when we have another king, we always want to remember the life and legacy of the great men that God and women of God that God placed in our life. So we remember the life and the legacy of Pastor Milton Maxwell. Now, again, let's go into this interview, folks. This is my final interview. This was in December 2023, my final interview with Pastor Maxwell. And it goes like this. And I want to thank again for everybody watching. And we're going to stop and we're going to pause and we're going to give some comments as we go. So let's see if we can start this right here, folks. Big TV Network here today. We are so happy with my good friend, Pastor Maxwell, East Friendship Baptist Church. Doc, we're going to go out front and see families and kids having a good time for Christmas. And how do you feel about making it happen, man?
We're so excited about impacting our community and families, even in our congregation, that may not even have, a man leaving the house or the resources to celebrate Christmas. And so organizations in our community, from the Shriners to many organizations, sow seeds into this effort, toy giveaway right before Christmas to bless lots of children and families. We give clothes as well, new clothing and jackets and sneakers and footwear, things that the kids need because they're growing. And we give an assortment of toys for children of all ages. We gave bikes out. We gave out, cars and trucks and new gadgets, new technology. So the kids are smiling, the parents are smiling, the grandmothers are happy. That means we did our job well.
East Friendship Baptist Church is more than a four-wall Sunday morning, meet one time a week church, man. You're holistic. You're ahead of your time. You survived COVID. Tell people when they come to this church, what are they going to get? Not just on Sunday morning, but throughout the week.
We are a church. We got 4 pillars in our church, and those 4 pillars is knowing God. So we want people to have an intimate relationship with God, not religion, but relationship. Finding freedom, because everybody has something that's holding them hostage. It could be in their mind or in their body, addictions and behaviors. So they had to bring deliverance ministry, help them to discover their purpose, their why for living. And that's really important, because if you discover your why for living, you can say no to a lot of things and stay focused on your purpose that God has destined in your life. And then we help people to make a difference. Make a difference individually, make a difference in your family, your community, your neighborhood, your city, your state, and through the world. And those 4 pillars are exercised in each friendship. We really serve the street king. Jesus Christ is not caught up in the institutional church. He's caught up in go. He says, go in the highways and byways and bid them to come. And so we bid them to come to Christ, come to know him. We're all about relationship. Excited about impacting our community and families, even in our congregation, that may not even have, a man leaving the house or the resources to celebrate Christmas. And so organizations in our community, from the Shriners to many organizations, sow seeds into this effort, toy giveaway right before Christmas, to bless lots of children and families. We give clothes as well, new clothing and jackets and sneakers and footwear, things that the kids need when they're growing. And we give an assortment of toys for children of all ages. We gave bikes out, we gave out, cars and trucks and new gadgets, new technology. So the kids are smiling, the parents are smiling, the grandmothers are happy. That means we did our job well.
East Friendship Baptist Church is more than a 4-wall Sunday morning, meet one time a week church, man. You're holistic. You're ahead of your time. You survived COVID. Tell people when they come to this church, what are they going to get? Not just on Sunday morning, but throughout the week.
I mean, we are a church. We got 4 pillars in our church, and those 4 pillars is knowing God. So we want people to have an intimate relationship with God, not religion, but relationship. Finding freedom, because everybody has something that's holding them hostage. It could be in their mind or in their body, addictions and behaviors. So they had to bring deliverance ministry, help them to discover their purpose, their why for living. And that's really important, because if you discover your why for living, you can say no to a lot of things and stay focused on your purpose that God has destined in your life. And then we help people to make a difference. Make a difference individually, make a difference in your family, your community, your neighborhood, your city, your state, and through the world. And those 4 pillars are exercised in each friendship. We really serve the street king. Jesus Christ is not caught up in the institutional church. He's caught up in go. He says, go in the highways and byways and bid them to come. And so we bid them to come to Christ, come to know him. But we're all about relationship and all about agape love, just loving the people, man.
We've been together for over 12 years, man. And I see every time I walk in this church, I see people like ants doing stuff. How is it important to you to delegate and not try to do everything yourself?
Yeah, many pastors hurt themselves trying to do everything themselves. One of the things that we did at East Friendship that we felt was critical was aligning all the gifts in the spirit and naming what they are, and then also doing a gift assessment of every member and matching gifts. So people have a different type of joy when they go serve. The worst thing in the world is have a mean usher, right? But if you have a people person who has the gift of hospitality, they should be ushering. And there's gift of administration, there's so many gifts of shepherding, and so you try to put people according to their gifts and their anointing. Some gifts are primary, some gifts are secondary, but we design our ministries and we list all the gifts under every ministry, and then when new members come in, they do a gift assessment, and we assign them to the ministries that's aligned up with their gift assessment, and you see a different type of person working and serving. They're running the church to do their ministry versus trying to avoid it, and that's so critical.
Pick TV Network. We're going to be right back with Pastor Maxwell. Stay there, Doc. That's part 1. I'm going to go into part 2 in a second.
Wow.
But listening to him, Pastor Boyd, the mindset of Pastor Maxwell ahead of his time, when he was talking about the vision of the church. And I want Pastor Sampson to come for a minute, and if he can, I know he's busy multitasking, to have your pastor, man, to in the midst of COVID, to revamp the church when the churches was closed. Pastor Sampson, you were there. You assisted your pastor before he went home to be with the Lord just a few days ago. How his mindset was ahead of his time. He had to be ahead of his time to have the church ready in 2024, and we're in 2019. Can you give us just 2 minutes of how that experience was, Reverend Sampson?
He's a visionary. He's a modern day visionary. So he does things ahead of time. So preparation is key. Like, because when we had the 21 days of fasting and praying 3 times a year, we got
Wow.
one coming up now in May. We're getting ready for May 21 days of fasting and praying. And then in the fasting and praying season, we're laying everything before the Lord to get us ready for what's already being laid out. And he always, stayed ahead of the game, as they say, preparation. He said, no, you always got to prepare for a storm. You always got to prepare for a for a trip. You always got to have your bags packed, because
Wow.
you never know what's going to happen, down the road. Because it's like we have, these bags where, it's like, the bags that, when if a storm hits, you gotta be able to mobilize. You gotta be able to mobilize. And it's like, you get to a point where, everything. Let me show it to you real quick. Get to it. This is the bag. This is the bag. If you can actually see this, this is the bag that he gave all of his leaders.
Wow.
All of his leaders. It's like it has multiple sides to it, and it's like it's like it's a go bag. It's a back go bag. It has toiletries and it has different things, life things to it. To really be able to get it on your back and go, because you get to a point where you have to be ready. And because he made sure that preparation, like what he said, that he made sure that everybody was in their lanes, in their giftings, in their talents, because he always said your lifeline is key. Your lifeline is very much key, because in the lifeline, you got to understand that that's what he was all about. Making sure that we met on a regular basis with the leaders, making sure before Sunday, before anything else, because he believed that when we go out in the public, we're on one accord. We're on one accord. People, he was big on training, because even if you knew, you still kept an open mind. He always said, he said, Gigi, always keep an open mind. Always keep an open mind. Always know what you're getting ready to get into. Because the thing about it, you keep an open mind and just sit. He said, because he taught me one key phrase: ministry of presence. He said, it does not yet appear. A lot of people won't do that. He always made sure that we were just, you ain't got to say nothing. Just sit there. Just look. Be prepared to lean in, because somebody's always going to need help. Even in my job, riding a medic unit day in and day out, 48 hours a week, 2 days a week, interacting with the people on a regular basis. So this is basic training that he taught me to take out in the streets of DC, to make sure that we were ready. Because even with the church, from the constructions into the blueprints, we had the right people, because First Lady was the brains. First Lady was the brains of the operation. He says it all the time, because she was calculating to the T, to make sure that everything was in line, and all she had to do is come in and execute. Execute. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And he knew preparation for the day, because we know not how certain things are, why certain things happen, but we know that this manservant, he served. I remember, and I can share it. I can remember that I never went hungry. I never went out. Like what Pastor Bowie said, you'd be surprised. Look, I'm just picking them up from the airport, whatever. And I'm like, dropping them off, whatever. And then later on, I look at my Cash App. I'm like, dude, I'm good. I call him up, dude, really? Really, dude? So, hey, because he did things without he just giver, just a
Yeah.
giver. You get to a point where everything that he poured into all the leaders. He poured into the people of God, the community, the serve days,
Yeah.
the Halloween, the Halloween trunk or treat. Oh my gosh. We that right there, when we first did that years ago, let me tell you something. Everybody in the community looked forward to each friendship doing trunk or treat, where you dress up your car and you dump all your candy in your trunk. And then you got the grill going, you got the music going, you got line dancing, because knowing how can you have people come to Christ, Pastor and Bishop, to Christ, if you don't have no relationship? He said Gigi, everything is a relationship. Because how can you bring them into the kingdom if you have no relationship with them? Because you got to build a relationship before you open that book. Because some people, they don't know the jargon. They don't know different things, because you got to meet them where they are. He met people where they are.
Yeah. And that's a gift, man. That's a wonderful gift from God, man. And those who watch, we doing a special Pick TV network, life and legacy moments with Pastor Reverend Sampson and Apostle Jerome Bowie, who was on with me, who are just close friends and colleagues and co-laborers with the late great Pastor Maxwell. I also want Pastor Bowie. We're going to go into part 2 of this interview. We were just doing the highlights of a segment of the interview I had with Pastor Maxwell, the last interview I had with him. And Pastor Bowie, I'm gonna pause it, and I want you to interject on certain moments of this interview, and tell us what this interview means to you in these moments. So let's go back into it, and we're going to add some more to it. Okay, let's go here. You're progressive. 2024 is coming in. ChatGPT. We got AI. How do you feel about that being a pastor? Because I love AI.
Yeah, well, we've been engaged in AI for actually about 7 years.
Wow.
A lot of people are just getting into AI, but one of my businesses, Forward Solutions, do AI and drone systems and a lot of other technology. So AI is not really as new as we think. It's just being more exposed and how to more user-friendly for the common person. But you're going to have to leverage technologies. One of my first sermons in this church and my first business meeting in this church was, we're going to leverage technology. So when the pandemic happened, we were already prepared. We were already ready to decentralize our church. We did our construction during the pandemic, and we kept reaching and growing even in the midst of the pandemic. But 2024, my vision for this church is God first.
Wow.
So many people, priority is messed up, and the pandemic has skewed how we think about, church. The level of investment in church is different. We have more virtual people sometimes than attending. And so, is God really your priority? Is God first in your life? And I can tell when you wake up, you grab your phone first, so God ain't first. You scroll and check that, you stay on that for 2 hours when you could be actually having prayer with God. So
Pastor Bowie, I want to stop right there and bring you in for a second and talk about when Pastor Maxwell, our friend who we love so much, saying God first. He said, our vision for this ministry, 2024, is God first. Pastor Bowie, how do you feel when you see that and that's real?
Because that's who he was. He was all about God, and he taught the people about God. Like he said earlier, he said, I want you to have a relationship with God, not what you heard or what somebody said. I want you to know God for yourself. So he put all them things in place for people can know God for themselves. And that's what I love about Maxwell. He was way before his time. Like you say, AI, he was on that before it even came out. I had many talks with him about different things, and he was telling me about different things before it even came to tuition. So he was just a man of brilliance, you know what I mean? And I just sitting there thinking as I was watching, as long as I knew him and his wife, I have never seen them too many times apart.
Right. That's
I
right.
just got to thinking about that. I have not seen them too many times well apart.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he loved his wife. He always honored her and called her a queen, made everybody know who she was, and made it known that she was the queen of the house and everything. And you can see in his kids, they just follow suit. They was this one big happy family, man, that God has blessed. And I said, man, Maxwell is a man of man.
Yeah.
And when his preaching style, if you never heard him preach, you have missed out because he
Yeah.
was so educated and knowledgeable about so many things. I mean, I have friends right now, I have pastor friends right now that I was setting up to meet Maxwell. We was going out to lunch and meet him.
Yeah.
I said, y'all have to meet this man. And someone wanted to meet him just on some stuff he did with you on Pick TV Network. The knowledge he was kicking. And some pastors just wanted to meet him. You know what I mean? And some of the ones that I set up, they got busy and he got busy. It didn't happen, but I'm telling you, to know him is to honor him. And I'm grateful that I got to know him. He was in my life. My wife left him to life, his family. I'm telling you, what a blessing.
And when I hear him say God first in
Yes.
church, not money, not revivals, not status, not people. I've been in ministry almost 40 years. And when I hear him say God first, that's a major goal. And he hits the mark. We're gonna play a little bit more, Pastor Boyd. We're gonna stop it and pause it. We're looking at special tributes to who we love so much, one of our own. This is a preacher, teacher, servant, a king. You know, the life and legacy of Pastor.
Yeah, let's talk about too after the clip when he came to the warehouse.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
know God is not first in a lot of people's life, so this theme is to reset everybody and remind everybody, seek ye first the kingdom of God. And every single thing will add together if you get your priorities right.
Doc, I'm going to come in the broadcast. I just preached a funeral, and I talked about God's life connection. Now, this man wasn't there, but I talked about the body, soul, and spirit. People don't understand, and I know you can get into it. We're going to go into this at a later session, but we have a body.
Right.
Everybody wants food. Everybody needs nourishment. Everybody needs sex.
Right.
Everybody needs all that to be full and grow. But the soul is the thing in between wrestling. What I'm gonna give you, what you gonna get. But the people never get to the spirit, Doc. When you born again, you got a spirit.
Right. You're born of a spirit. You born with a spirit, but that spirit is probably a nail size.
Wow.
But when you get born again, the spirit is enlarged. At that time, it grows to a place where it takes control of the body and takes control of the soul, and it becomes the manager.
Wow.
The soul has the emotions, the personality. It has its will. So when you're strong-willed, it's operating out of your soul. And so there's a fight, good and evil, for the soul of a man or the soul of a woman. And the body has the appetite.
Wow.
It has its desires. It wants to do what it wants to do. So you need a larger force. And so the scripture tells us that you got to be born of the spirit. And those who even worship must worship him in spirit and in truth. And so in order to grow spiritually, you have to be able to enlarge your spirit. So you got to feed it, just like you feed your body, give it muscles, you got to feed your spirit, the word of God, the many spiritual disciplines, prayer, silence, solitude. A lot of us is busy, a lot of noise. You don't know that solitude and silence is a spiritual discipline that can help you grow and develop yourself. And so if you expand your spirit, then it can control the appetite of your body and control those emotions and bring emotional intelligence into a place where the emotions are not driven. So many of us are driven by our emotions, and God really wants us to be balanced. So you have to build your spirit.
And people don't know, Pastor, the soul is going to live.
Afterwards, that's right. Choose
See,
who
you
you're
can
going to
be in
serve.
this life you can live your life all the way until you die and never accept Jesus, and you'll have a body that will decay every day. Your spirit, boom. If you're not born again, if you don't have the spirit leading you, who's leading you? Your flesh.
That's right.
People don't understand that the soul is either going to go to heaven or hell.
Choose this day who you're going to serve. Whether it be God or whether it be all the men that don't even care about you anyway. But if you serve God first, your soul is already secure in God. Do you have reservations? I don't know if you got reservations. I got reservations. My ticket's been stamped already.
When he said that,
Mm.
my ticket has been sealed already. I'm ready. This was my final interview with my brother, with my co-laborer.
Mm.
But when he said that, it sealed it. So we're here because the life that Pastor Maxwell lived.
Yeah.
Not because of the death, not because he died, but because of how he lived. And how he would continue to live on. And when I had this interview with him, I had just left a funeral. And I was talking about God's life connection, how we made of a body, soul, and spirit. Our spirit man never dies. Our spirit man is going to live eternity either with God or down you know where. And he talked to him. He said, "I'm sealed." And he took my sermon and he stretched it a little bit, boy. He went on and worked a little bit.
Hey, did you hear what he said? Emotional intelligence. Ooh, Lord.
Yeah.
Emotional intelligence. God Almighty.
And when he said that, man, my ticket is sealed. I'm ready. That means there's nothing on this planet could stop him from loving God even to the other side. Can you love God even to the other side? I know we over here loving him. We here loving him right now, boy. But I feel something coming on me, man. Can you love him to the other side? You know what I'm saying? Can you love him to the other side, man? And when he said that, that blessed me so much. Let's go look further.
I'm on my way to heaven.
You preaching, you don't never stop preaching, man.
I'm gonna be straight. I want you to be straight. I want you to be better than you are right now. So you need to be a kingdom man or kingdom woman, and you must be born again.
Doc, you're not playing this thing, Doc. You living it, Doc.
We gotta live it. You know, preaching is easy, but living it is a whole different thing. And most of us are preaching ain't always living it. Right? And so we have to live this thing. I pray, even in my own weaknesses and faults, that the Holy Spirit quicken me and keep me, even for my own self. The enemy that could be in me. So we have to be careful because the enemy's waiting for access to our lives. But thank God for Jesus.
Yes, sir.
It's so good to spend time with you. Come hang out with East Friendship, 4401 Brook Street, Northeast, Washington, D.C.
And your son, Doc. We got to give a shout out. You know, Pastor Sampson, I remember we had the men's conference over the summer. It had to be almost 200 or 300 men there. And the writer was there. I wish my dad. I will never forget the book that everybody was signing. And Pastor Maxwell, I think that Sunday, y'all did an open topic talk in the pulpit, man, that Sunday. It was, and I know. I had the interview over there. There you go. And that was an amazing moment, man. One of my amazing moments in interviews. I never thought that when I was interviewing Pastor Maxwell, he never backed down. He always said, "Come on, let's do it." Even when we would see the color purple, he was always ready. He never said, "Nah, Doc, I'm not this one. Let's do it." He was always ready to talk to the people.
And that's what I mean.
Look at this historical moment, Pastor Boyd, that's cemented in time for the next 100 years. Look at this interview right here. How he said, "I'm sealed, I'm signed, I'm ready." And how many of us can say that today? We're looking at what's going on in Israel right now. The war's going over there. We're looking at people right here in America going on. It said something happened over in the bridge in California. I mean, the earthquakes. But this man of God said, "I'm ready." And now he's on the other side saying, "I told you it was real. I can't wait to see y'all. Come on over here." He's already there, boy. What a moment, man. And I thank God for this interview. I thank God that he is a PIC TV network investor. And boy, when you see him coming on tonight, man, he's still living in the city of our soul, man. And how you said you want to talk about how he invested in, even when we had the overflow distribution center. But boy, you can go into that for a second.
Oh man, the warehouse, when God blessed me to run the warehouse over here off of Bryson Road. We had a warehouse full of so much stuff, microwaves, clothes, everything, man, outdoor stuff, indoor stuff, school supplies. And I remember Maxwell would come down, and I said, "Maxwell, come and get some of this stuff, man, for the ministry. We got so much stuff here." Him and the wife came down. I can never forget it. And I walked him through the place. And out of all the stuff in the place, it was so much stuff. It was pictures and conferences and all that. You know what him and his wife laid their eyes on? The school supplies for the kids. Out of all that stuff, they took the school supplies for the kids and loaded up and took that back to the church.
Wow.
They could have took pictures and household stuff and different things. And I'm telling you, I was showing them all kinds of lamps and this and that and that and this. But him and his wife laid their eyes on the school supplies.
Yeah.
And they took that back with them, man. This man, I'm telling you, him and his wife, incredible people. They had the heart for the people, and they had the heart to do in the community. Just like we did the food drives, Maxwell sent trucks over to where we was at to load up for food for the community. We had the tractor trailers. Maxwell sent his deacons over, and they would come over with trucks and load up and take it on back to the church and give it out. But this man of God, I'm telling you, a life well lived, and we're gonna celebrate him. And I'm honored
Yeah.
to know him and to have known him and his family. It is such a blessing to me. Let me say this. I have to say this.
Mm-hmm.
The Sunday, Easter Sunday, I was at Maxwell's church. You know, after he went home to be with the Lord, and when his family came, it just blessed everybody. It was there, and at the end of that service, we was all at the altar, and it was praying. And I looked up, and his daughter had the mic, and she sung her heart out.
Yeah.
That blessed me. You hear me?
Yeah.
But that's the testament to who Maxwell was. Maxwell already, like you say, he already had their things in place. They already knew who his father was. They already knew who their father was. They knew their father would want everything to go on as
Mm-hmm.
nothing happened.
Mm-hmm.
Even though that's hard, they knew this because that's what he instilled in them. That was one family together. And when I heard her singing, I always loved her singing. But I came home, I was still messed up. That blessed me.
Yeah.
You hear me?
Yeah. And you know what? You know, to have him on Pick TV Network, he's been on here. He's an investor with our network. We couldn't even have a network that's reaching all these people if it wasn't for Pastor Maxwell giving the first seed to help us out to keep this network growing. And when we first started, and to have him on, it's no way in the world, Pastor Boyd, me and you on my team, you working with me, you investor, you my partner, that we couldn't honor him. We know BET does theirs, Memories, and NBC, Fox 5, and other, but this is our network honoring one of our own. And we're going to play this all week long.
We don't need no permission. We don't need no permission. This is, like I said again, it's our network, and we're gonna do what God. Yes, we don't need no. We don't have to have a vote. We don't have to have a vote on this one.
Yeah, and we've been talking about this, man. You said we got to do this, man.
And Maxwell taught that. He said that you got to have several streams of income.
Yes, he did.
He taught that all the time. I'm telling you, this man was walking around with a wealth of information. I'm telling you, wow, a wealth of information. And I thank God that I got to receive some of it.
Yeah, and you know, and he lives in our soul. You know, we honor him on Pick TV Network. And those who are watching right now, I want to thank you, you know, for just looking at this, sharing it on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitch, Pick TV Network. And Pastor Boyd, we're not going to stop, man. We're going to bring his son on. You know, after this week, you know, the service is going to be Thursday at East Friendship Baptist Church. I'm going to bring Pastor Reverend Sampson back up. And then we're going to have something Friday. It's going to be the whole city, man. We're going to be at Jericho City of Praise. That church is going to be electrified on Friday as we celebrate the homegoing service of one of our own. And all the pastors who are watching, you may not, you know, have spent time with Pastor Maxwell, but come on and celebrate. This is one of our own. When the police lose one of theirs, they line up. When the fire department lose one of theirs, or the first responder lose one of theirs, or the president of the United States, all of them come out. So we want to come out in a big way to celebrate the homegoing service.
Hey, Dr. Evans, before we bring Reverend Sampson back, do you even remember when called Maxwell? I said, Maxwell, Pastor Terrence Hobbs and we're going to be up at the jail. We're going to be praying outside the jail for the inmates. And it was Corona. Corona was at its high then.
Yeah.
I believe it was him and Sampson came down. Maxwell came down the aisle praying, came down the street, praying with his mask on.
Yep,
praying with his
I got
family.
that.
And you got that footage. I remember that.
We had that
Man,
footage.
this
And
man had a heart.
he also, Pastor Boy, was down at the monument. We got the footage with him and his wife.
We did the prayers on the monument.
Yep. The
They put
monument
an Uber
ground.
down there.
Yep.
Put an Uber down there, came down and hung out, prayed, man, fellowship and hung out. Oh man, it was awesome.
I didn't know when I go to Pastor Maxwell house, you know, we got to eat Chinese food, man. You know, I go over there. I think me and my wife went over there. We were, shrimp fried rice. And we eat at the table, man. And he just playing, man. You know, me and him go around the basement, man.
Yeah.
And, we just have fun, man. He had no egos. There was no ego with this man. This man of God, y'all, he had no egos. It's to know him and it's to love him. To go in his office, to come downstairs, to come in there. I would preach down the street from his church at
all the time. I remember that. Yeah.
My good friend and brother who I went to school with, we went to Bible college with Pastor James Lee, Central Union Baptist Church, which is 3 blocks down from Pastor Maxwell's church in East Friendship. So when I go there, boy, I'm hungry because I'm not an early in the morning person, man. I'm hungry, man. I'm jumping out the bed, running to the service because they start early in the morning. And I stopped by East Friendship. I said, Don, what you got for me, man? He said, come on, get some of this. Come on, get some of this breakfast food, Evans. You gonna preach it? You gonna preach down the street and eat over here in mine, man? And we just laugh, man. Yeah. But that's the type of relationship we had. I remember, boy, when you preached the counterfeit. It was me. Yeah. It was a cold night. We was all over there in the church, and it was a cold night. You preached counterfeit. It was me cutting up in the back with Pastor Maxwell, and we had
Corey Thompson. Corey Thompson came out. Yeah, I did a 2-day revival over there by Home Depot off Central Avenue. Y'all came out, man. We had a good time, laughing, talking, joke. Wow.
Yeah, he supported, man. Anybody who had something. His doors were open all the time. And, to see him, Pastor Bowie, and I went over there when I heard he was sick too, and I talked to his wife. I didn't get a chance to go in the back because he was resting. But I went over there and prayed with his son. And, man, let's give a shout-out to his son, man, who's still –
oh, my God.
Oh, man.
To God be the glory, man.
He's still holding – man, he's still doing what his dad would want him to do is to preach. So let me get Pastor Sampson back in. To have his son to keep preaching, man, to still hold up the bloodstained banner of the Lord Jesus Christ and to preach, man, and preach. I don't mean get up there and just talk to it.
No,
that his son, man, come with the fire. He come with the fire, man. And I'm just so honored when I see the church, man, and I still look at just the services, man, and how God blessed us with a gift. All I know is this man was a gift to the body of Christ, a personal gift to me, just like to Pastor Bowie and Reverend Sampson and Pastor Dante King. I would look at my Cash App and I wouldn't have to ask twice. And he's not like a bill collector either that's going to hunt you down on Tuesday at 12 o'clock midnight. This man, when he gave to you, man, it was a blessing, man. It was a blessing in so many ways. So, folks, we're going to close out the broadcast. Any final words, Reverend Sampson, before we close out tonight, sir?
Well, thank you, sir, for just doing this tribute to my dad, my father in ministry. And, it does not yet appear what's going to be next. The next man up.
Yeah.
Pick TV. Worldwide, nationwide.
Like his son said, left something behind.
Man, I love
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
It's all love, man. It's what we got to do. Pastor Boy, final comments.
I just stood at awe. You know what I mean? I remember when Reverend Sampson was going up for ordination, and Maxwell asked me to be on the board, and I said I would be honored, not only just to be on the board, but to be on the board for such a man as him. Sampson is a humble young man. His title of his thing was the least of these. But let me tell you, God has poured a lot into this young man here, and I'm so proud of him. We hang out all the time. We laugh. We went out to eat the other day just to talk.
Yeah. And y'all didn't invite me, man. I got
You
y'all was at Golden Corral. You was at Golden Corral, and you didn't invite me, man. Y'all didn't invite me, man.
We sit down there.
You ain't sent me one piece of chicken, Doc. That ain't.
And we went down memory lane. You hear me? We went down memory lane. But we just reminisce. I'm telling you of such a man as this.
Yeah,
such a man as this. We went down memory lane, and to God be the glory for the things, for allowing him to be in our life.
Yeah.
Wow. You know what I mean? Just allow him to be in our life. I'm telling you.
Yeah, you know, you only get one Pastor Maxwell in a generation, man. One man of God that comes through like him, you know, and that's a gift. You value every moment that you have when God bless you with a gift like this. And we want to thank God for again his wife. I know she's gonna be watching, his son, his daughter Stephen and Amos, you know, all of them growing up together. You know, they out in California together. It's his daughter. And you know, we our prayers are with you guys. We 100% with you, Pastor Reverend Sampson. Thank you, man, for serving this man of God, being there with him 1,000,000%. You know, and this is not the last time. We're going to salute him on Pick TV Network, which is seen around the country. And he deserves this. He would have wanted this. This is one thing I know. He's smiling down from heaven right now saying, look at them talking about me. Look at them talking about. He's smiling down from heaven because he would have wanted this, man, because we were special to him. We just didn't know him by pass by. We talking about spending time with this man of God. You know?
Well, you know, one thing I noticed of Reverend Sampson is that every time Maxwell went across seas or Africa, anywhere, he posted so many pictures. And you know why? He wanted other people to see another side of life.
Yeah.
He wanted them to know that Africa was rich and full. That's what he said out of his own mouth. Rich and full of blessings and finances.
Yeah.
He didn't want you to think that Africa was poor and down. He would show all these beautiful pictures all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me why he would do that. He said, because some people don't understand Africa's full of blessings.
Yeah.
And full of businesses and flourishing.
Yeah, and it's a gift, man. So Pick TV Network, thank you for watching tonight. Please watch the repeats of this. You know, God is good all the time, and we see you next time on You Know Where, Pick TV.
Hey, friend, I want to share some exciting news with you. The Pick TV DMV Media Blast is here to help you promote your election, product, or public event to a massive audience. With up to 700,000 Washington, D.C. residents, 6 million Maryland residents, and 8 million Virginia residents, you'll be able to reach a wide range of people. If you're interested and want more information, feel free to give Dr. David Evans a call at 202-505-2837. He'll be more than happy to assist you and skyrocket your event. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity. Hey there! Exciting news! Pick TV Network is on the lookout for talented short filmmakers like you to showcase your amazing work to the world. Imagine your short film being seen in barbershops, nail salons, bars, restaurants, clubs, churches, airports, sports stadiums, college dorms, and even on Roku TV in different languages across foreign countries. The Pick TV Short Film Channel is in need of hundreds of new short films every week, and they can't wait to feature yours. Just give them a call at 202-505-2837 or visit watchpicktv.com to get started. Get ready to share your creativity with Pick TV fans, movie directors, and producers who will be eagerly watching. This is your chance to shine.
What's the TV network you're going to be watching?
The Pick TV Network.
What's the TV network you're going to be watching?
The Pick TV Network.
What's the TV network you're going to be watching?
The Pick TV Network.
TV network you're going to be watching?
The Pick TV Network.
TV network you're going to be watching?
Pick TV Network.
TV network you guys going to be watching?
The Pick TV Network.
Happy, man. What's the TV network y'all going to be checking out?
The Pick TV Network.
Pick TV Network.
Let's go.
David Evans.
Pick TV Network special going on right now. Listen, I'm here with one of my closest friends. We go down through the years. I used to hear that when I was young, but now down through the years. This pastor right here.
Yes.
He's talking about 30 years, 20 years. I guess 40 years right here. Travel together. Pastor Barnett, we love you, man. Dr. Angelo, we love you. Pastor Boy, we love you. Pick TV Network coming at you strong.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
Shout out to PIC TV Network. Check them out. Black owned and operated. Let's support each other. I'm Zeke with the Universal Circus. I'll be tuning in.
This is B-Mitch from the Washington football team. Congratulations to David Evans and the PIC TV Network for showing positive TV programs on Roku. Let's help my brother David Evans and the PIC TV Network continue to grow. Go to www.pictvnetwork.com. That's www.picnetwork.com.
Hey everybody, Claudia Jordan here. Check out the PIC TV Network, now showing on Roku. David Evans is the president and is doing a great job showing quality TV programs to people all over the world. Let's support PIC TV. Go to the pictvnetwork.com. That's the pictvnetwork.com. Shout out to David Evans doing his thing. I love when people are out there making it really happen and doing beautiful, fantastic work. So shout out to you, and make sure you check him out on the Roku. All right, David Evans, congratulations, and keep me abreast of all the hot, products and shows and things you got going on. I'm really interested. All right, best of luck.
Hey friend, I want to share some exciting news with you. The PIC TV DMV Media Blast is here to help you promote your election, product, or public event to a massive audience. With up to 700,000 Washington, D.C. residents, 6 million Maryland residents, and 8 million Virginia residents, you'll be able to reach a wide range of people. If you're interested and want more information, feel free to give Dr. David Evans a call at 202-505-2837. He'll be more than happy to assist you and skyrocket your event. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity.
This was a broadcast today.
This was my interview with Pastor Maxwell. It was at the last of 2023, and we had a toy giveaway at PIC TV Network, and we asked Pastor Maxwell and Lady Maxwell, can we have some toys to help give out to help some kids in need? And one of the families that we helped, and the kids said, this is the best day of my life. He received some toys. And Pastor Maxwell and East Friendship Baptist Church partnershiping with the PIC TV Network, Project Smiles. It was such a blessing. And we're sending our love and prayers and condolences to Pastor Maxwell's family. And this is my friend, He's gone to heaven, and we've been friends, and we've been fellowshipping many years now. He blessed our ministry with the church coming over in full force, filling up the place, bringing a choir with close to 75 to 100 people coming over to New Living Way. We've been fellowshipping at dinner. We went over the house together to eat Chinese food, and sitting around the table talking, walking around the house, going into his in the basement, seeing his office, and I've been blessed. And me and my wife and Lady Maxwell and Pastor Maxwell, the family, and he is one of the reasons why Pick TV Network exists, because he invested in our network when we first started our network in 2020. He gave a large seed to help us to launch Pick TV Network and to help us to grow. You know, so when I see Pastor Maxwell in heaven, you know, I gotta say thank you again to my brother, because of the wonderful things that he's done to bless my life and to bless others. You know, this man is my friend, and we've been friends, as they say, down through the years. We've been blessed too.
If I had yours, Doc, I had to worry about mine. This dude is the #1 cat in the world. And you're Southeast, right?
Northeast, brother. Northeast. I'm a Northeast nigga.
I ain't gonna put you on the bridge,
Come
dog.
on, East Side, Northeast.
But doing some powerful things, man. Blessing people, Lord. You and your wife, man.
That's
love
right.
you guys.
Love you
You
too,
do the
brother.
best in the world, man.
Peace out.
Yeah, so you know, you get moments like this in life when you meet people, and you meet people to help make the world a better place. And I love Pastor Maxwell, and we're going to continue to keep his legacy alive and the things that he's done to bless people. Rest in peace, my brother. And we're going to have some more tribute words coming up for him with some other clergy men. And we're going to dedicate something big on Pick TV Network, because again, Pastor Maxwell was an investor. He was one of my confidants and business advisors, and just a good friend. Whenever I need something personally, I could call Pastor Maxwell, and it's already there. And it's already there. That's the type of man of God he was. A friend. I could say that word, not loosely. This was my friend. Praying for the church and praying for the family. Pick TV Network. Thank God for the life and legacy.
Big TV Network here today. We are so happy with my good friend, Pastor Maxwell, East Friendship Baptist Church. Doc, we can really go out front and see families and kids having a good time for Christmas. And how do you feel about making it happen, man?
We're so excited about impacting our community and families, even in our congregation, that may not even have, a man leaving the house or the resources to celebrate Christmas. And so organizations in our community, from the Shriners to many organizations, sow seeds into this effort, toy gift.
Doc, I had to worry about mine. This dude is the #1 cat in the world. And you're Southeast, right?
Northeast, brother. Northeast. I'm a Northeast nigga.
I ain't gonna put you on the bridge,
Come
dog.
on, East Side, Northeast.
But doing some powerful things, man. Blessing people, Lord. You and your wife, man.
That's
love
right.
you guys.
Love
You
you
do
too,
the
brother.
best in the world, man.
Peace out.
One of the special moments that I had with my friend and colleague, preacher, teacher, minister, servant, Pastor Maxwell, blessed my life. You know, when you've been on the planet for a certain amount of time, and then God blesses you to meet people as you go through timelines. And we who are clergy preachers, there's a bond that we have. There's a special connection that when preachers, those who are really called of God, I mean, and then you look at our families, Pastor Maxwell's wife and my wife like this, tight. They talked the other day, and a couple of hours just talking. And Mariah, his kids, and then Stephen, how they hooked up in California and friends and travel on events. And, you know, his daughter is big. He always brags on his daughter doing some great things with Taraji P. Henson, and also with when Kanye West had the choir, Mariah was singing. She would play roles at the big events in New York and sing. And I believe she was playing Mary in one of the events, and he would always be proud. And this man of God always gave me the utmost respect when he seen me and he seen Pastor Bowie. He said, "Oh, my brothers are here." I can remember him saying that even when we come on Sunday mornings. My wife had just preached for him while he was in Africa. My wife preached that Sunday morning. He was commenting to her and to church after the service was over, enjoying the word. And that Sunday that she preached, he was just so in tune, because he asked, can she preach for the Women's Day while he's in Africa? And that was a historical moment, because that was one of the Sundays that he was really 100% to hear and respond and to be happy and joyful to hear that preached word by my wife, Yvette Evans, Coach Yvette Evans, Co-Pastor Yvette Evans. And I thank God for those moments. I thank God for men of God who I had a chance to see on this planet. And I can go down a whole list of some preachers who I know that we were just like this. And then one of us leaves the planet, and we know that God guide us. And I think about people like Bishop Ralph Green, who I fellowship with. You know, I think about people who, Bishop Weathers. I think about so many people, Reverend Minor. I can go down the whole list of preachers who gone to the other side, but they left a word and they left a good name. Because people are going to always remember your name and the day you came in this planet, and they're going to remember the day that you left, the time you came in and the time you leave it, and what you're going to do in between. And we celebrate the life that Pastor Maxwell lived. That's why we celebrate the life that he lived. That's what it's all about. The church is going to be amazing this week. Folks who are going to come out to celebrate this legacy service, please come out. And those who East Friendship Baptist Church, we're praying for you. We got you 1,000,000%. We praying for everybody. We saw Reverend Sampson come on tonight, representing East Friendship Baptist Church. Strong, vibrant, continuing to go forth. You know, hearts are broken, tears are flowing. But, you know, deep down inside, this man of God left us like a Moses to keep going towards the promised land. And surely this was a gift from God. This man was a gift from God. And when you open that gift, you present it to the world. And we may not know how many people that his life has touched over the internet, hundreds of thousands of millions of lives that he's touched in Africa and touched in the DMV and touched again over social media and blessed people from all walks of life. So we celebrate my brother, the King, the Prince of Preachers, has he gone from this side to the other side to glory. Yeah, Pastor Melvin Milton Maxwell. Yeah, he is a man that never will be forgotten. We love you. Thank you, Pick TV Network fans, for watching the show and program. Please look at the repeats. Play this again. Show it again. Let somebody else see it. And we're going to do another part. We're celebrating him all week. Hey, this is Pastor Maxwell's week on Pick TV Network, our network, your network. We're celebrating this man of God. Thank you for your time. Until we meet again, Pick TV Network is your network.
Big. I want everyone to download the Pick TV network on your Roku search bar. My brother David Evans is growing Pick TV fans, and I want us to help my brother blow up Pick TV. Boom!
Thank you, guys. We love you. Thank you for your time. God bless until we meet again, Pick TV Network fans around the world.